what I write. Okay. Elon Musk, CCP virus vaccine. Come out what?
So thank you very much. We had a busy day today.
Lately, the U.S. Senator subpoenaed.
Okay, and see anything here? Yep, this one is 2 days ago. Okay, and ayo, this one. Okay, and okay, he said it. So I don't know. Is it he say? So I post it. Okay, if you don't understand in English, you do this one and go here and do this one and see what you like it. 所以如果我们清楚的话，我们听了那个我今天那个不愿意减少我们的国家的浪费的时间 OK 没有是伟大的但是梦今天产生如果你不要用读你就用 speak and then
所以如果我在这里说清楚的话，我听到的是埃隆·马斯克，一位未经选举但由总统任命的亿万富翁，他想要减少我们国家的联邦支出浪费。这个国家有36万亿美元的债务，他是一个怪物。但比尔·盖茨 （Bill Gates） 是一位伟大的人，他是一位未经选举产生的自封的人类亿万富翁。他希望透过使用疫苗来减少地球人口9亿至14亿。安东尼·福奇 （Anthony Fauci） 也是一个伟大的人，他批准并帮助支付了新冠病毒的发展，监督了人类变性药物的动物试验。他告诉我们戴口罩对于预防病毒传播来说不是必要的，也没有效果，然后努力强制要求戴口罩。他主张对新冠疫苗强制实施法律和社会压力，然后又予以否认。他也是一个伟大的人，否认。
OK， 我们用这个来解读。
So, if I'm clear here, what I'm hearing is that Elon Musk, an unelected, but presidentially appointed, billionaire who wants to reduce waste in federal spending for our country, which has a $36 trillion debt, is a monster, but Bill Gates, an unelected, self-appointed champion of humanity billionaire, who wants to reduce the Earth's population by 900 million to 1.4 billion people, in part through the use of vaccines, is a great guy. And Anthony Fauci, who approved and helped pay for the development of COVID, and who oversaw the animal testing of human sex change drugs, who told us that masks were not necessary and not effective to prevent virus transmission, and then worked to have them mandatory, who advocated legal and social pressure for COVID jab mandates, then denied it, is also a great guy.
So, 听了怎么样？So 这个很好笑的事情，这个人啊，他是这样讲啦。So 我们就看他这样I don't care. So who's the president looking for? 那有时候媒体他们就跟着那个假资讯啊，一直讲这个 Elon Musk 是好像讲那个 vaccine 的事情啦，这个 COVID 的事情，好像有一点好像很奇怪。So 他们在玩这个 games，and then 因为呢，在中国大陆很多人不会懂英语的， so 他们就会看那个华语字母呢，那个字体呢，就好像他好像知道了这个事情，那什么什么的，全部都是不是很真实啦。So 呢，所以为什么你一定要懂不同的语言，你一定要懂。
With the stroke of a pen, he committed to declassifying the files concerning the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. A decision not just monumental, but pivotal. It is with profound honor that I have been entrusted by Speaker Mike Johnson and Chairman James Comer to lead the House Oversight Task Force on Declassification of Federal Secrets. Together with the help of the White House, our intelligence allies, the Department of Defense, the Department of Justice, we will be conducting investigations into the following: the assassinations of JFK, RFK, and Dr. Martin Luther King, unidentified aerial phenomena, also known as UAPs, unidentified submerged objects, also known as USOs, the Epstein client list, the origins of COVID-19, and the 9/11 files. This task force will be a beacon of bipartisanship, On the Republican side, Representatives Burchett, Boebert, Burleson, Crane, Gill, and Mace will be joining me, although I'd like to note that I'm expanding this to the entire governing body and will be allowing certain members to waive on. Our first hearing is set for March. The date will be announced soon, and we've already initiated close to a dozen communications with various agencies, to include Pam Bondi at the Department of Justice and the Secretary of State. This will no longer be a task force that makes bold promises only to fade into irrelevance or send strongly worded letters. This will be a relentless pursuit of truth and transparency, and we will not stop until the American people have the answers they deserve. We will cut through the bureaucracy, challenge the stonewalling, and ensure that the American people finally get the truth that they have been denied for too long. If we are to endure and thrive as a nation, we must restore trust through transparency. The American people must be trusted to think for themselves, to form their own judgments from the truth that they are entitled to know. We've been treated like children for too long and kept in the dark by those we elected to serve us. It is my solemn duty to begin mending this trust, to form a new relationship between the government and the governed. Let us embark on this journey together towards a government that does not serve, but one that enlightens. That does not just serve, but one that enlightens. Trust through transparency
So,
the thing that people don't in this country understand is that the Ukrainian military is selling about half of the arms they get from the United States into international black markets, and they're winding up in some cases with the drug cartels in Latin America. That's a fact. Okay, it's a fact, and you can buy them. And I spoke to someone who did buy some actually, so I know this is a fact, and they're bragging about it. So they're selling conventional weapons, including weapon systems that are very dangerous and very destabilizing, that would make commercial air travel impossible, for example. And so, what are they doing with the pathogens in those biolabs? And does the Biden administration have a manifest? Do they know exactly what's in those labs? And will they turn it over to the Trump administration so we keep track of these things? And the answer is no, actually. The answer is no, I know this.
Wow.
So that's like the scariest thing that's ever happened. I think the Ukraine war has the potential to destabilize the world more than anything that's happened in my lifetime. What the hell? So that's why I'm saying this right now, because I hope this is widely disseminated, because I think it's like the scariest thing I've heard in a long, long time.
so go to see it by So 人家只要利用他的名声 and then 可以做任何的东西 they are using the name and then who are famous one they will create a different thing. That is the AI from China Communist Party. They rule everything and then they will say something differently one. Okay, so go look this one and see how, because this one Max one the news is very true, so but somehow you can't translate. So how you translate it? Oh, okay, here got the
Doge scraps Fauci Museum exhibit as part of $182 million in cuts. President Donald Trump's Department of Government Efficiency last week stopped over $180 million worth of Department of Health and Human Services contracts, including funding for a museum exhibit focusing on former COVID czar Dr. Anthony Fauci. President Donald Trump's Department of Government Efficiency last week stopped over $180 million worth of Department of Health and Human Services contracts, including funding for a museum exhibit focusing on former COVID czar Dr. Anthony Fauci. Trump appointed Elon Musk to oversee Doge, which has been tasked with finding ways to streamline government and reduce spending. In the past 48 hours, HHS canceled 62 contracts worth $182 million. These contracts were entirely for administrative expenses. None touched any healthcare programs. This included terminating a $168,000 contract for an Anthony Fauci exhibit at the NIH Museum. Doge posted Friday on its official X account with a screenshot showing that the money was meant to be used from July 2024 to July 2025. Amazing job by an NIH team. Saved greater than $4 billion annually in excessive grant administrative costs. Doge posted little more than 2 hours later. HHS National Institutes of Health, NIH, have been slated to donate $168,000 for the Fauci exhibit, which would have been placed in the National Museum of Health and Medicine in Silver Spring, Maryland. The exhibit was expected to be completed by the end of July. Fauci, 84, was director at NIH National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases between 1984 and 2022 and was known for his efforts to combat AIDS in the 1980s and 1990s. During the COVID pandemic, Fauci was a member of Trump's White House Coronavirus Task Force and then became President Joe Biden's top medical advisor. Fauci, whom conservatives have blasted for his actions during the pandemic and surrounding gain-of-function research, accepted a preemptive pardon from Biden. Emails suggest that a top Fauci lieutenant helped restore a grant for EcoHealth Alliance to fund research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, from where coronavirus likely escaped, and that Fauci was made aware of the change via a secret back channel, the New York Post reported. Fauci claimed he didn't recall any specific interaction and added that he wasn't involved with that grant. Trump late last month said Fauci no longer could have government-provided security and urged the doctor to hire his own. Fauci received taxpayer-funded security detail from the U.S. Marshal Service worth $15 million from January 24th, 2023, to September 20th, 2024, according to Freedom of Information Act documents obtained by independent journalist Jordan Schachtel, and open the books.
Okay, so everyone knows what is the true and what is not true, which one is the true news and which one is the false news. Thank you.